temporary workers' rights took a step forward with the passage of House Bill 4304. It's the Temporary Workers' Right to Know Act, sponsored by Representative Linda Dorcena Forry and Senator Jack Hart. Joining me this morning to discuss the importance of this bill is Al Vega. He's the Healthy Schools and Technology and Operations Coordinator for the Massachusetts Coalition for Occupational Safety and Health. Also joining us are Representative Linda Dorcena Forry, the chairperson of the Joint Committee on Community Development and Small Business, and Monica Halas from the Greater Boston Legal Services. Welcome to Urban Update. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
Representative, let me just start with you. Just tell us from what this bill is, this new law that was just passed recently, the Temporary Workers Bill of Rights. What rights are they getting? What does it mean for them?
Okay, first of all, thank you for having us. This is about basically workers' rights, right? This is about sharing information, making sure that workers know where they're going to work, how much they're going to get paid, and the duration of their work time. A lot of times, temporary agencies, workers get employed and they don't know. They perform the work and they don't have information and don't get the pay. So that's what this coalition was about, and making sure we got it done.
And who is this targeting? Which workers are we talking about here?
Well, this is targeting temporary workers, right? So this is the Temporary Workers Right to Know staffing agencies, and we have great staffing agencies, but we also have some that's not doing the right thing.
Okay, Monica Halas, I guess, Greater Boston Legal Services. I guess why is this? Why is this a big deal in your view for temporary workers?
It's a big deal really for three reasons. One is until this bill got passed, there was a total lack of transparency for temp workers. They didn't know, as Representative Forry said, where they were going to work, what they were going to be paid, whether there were any safety hazards on the job. Second, it's a bill all about fairness. Many temp workers have been charged usurious fees for things like transportation, meals, rental of safety equipment that they may only use one time. So this bill regulates fees. And third, it makes sure that there are not illegal acts that the temp agencies perpetrate on workers, such as sending workers to a workplace without the necessary license for safety. So really those three features and building in some accountability were necessary.
Now, Al Vega, talk to me about your constituency, immigrant workers. That is a big part of this group that's affected by this bill, isn't it?
Right. So I think as immigrant workers, unfortunately, they may not necessarily have the language to understand all the laws that apply to them. So a law like this is really just providing them basic information so that they're aware of what they're going into. Unfortunately, we've heard so many cases of workers being injured on the job, workers not knowing who their employer is, and so this law, I think, is really an attempt to try to ensure that temp agencies are playing by the rules, and that if workers do need additional access to information, to insurance, that they have that. So this, I think that's what will really do.
How many workers are we talking about here? Not an exact number. I mean, unless we're talking, thousands, tens of thousands?
Yeah, I think right now the number is about 25,000 is what is estimated.
Huge. And really in this economy, whereas the rest of the job market has shrunk, the temporary workforce has expanded exponentially. 91% of all new jobs, non-farm jobs since 2009 have been in the temp industry.
If these additional rights, temporary workers' right to know, by empowering them, does this do anything for other workers? In other words, by dealing with this group at the at the lower end of the labor pool, does that do anything in the way of strengthening the rights of other workers higher up in the labor pool?
Absolutely, it does, because we are with this law. It's basically saying they have to let everyone know that comes to work for them in terms of temporary agencies, letting people know, providing them. It's a simple sheet. It's one sheet of paper that lists all the information in terms of we want to make sure that workers have. And I think one of the things that's important in terms of us being able to get this legislation passed is that it was a coalition effort. It was 9 months of meetings. We had stakeholders around the table. We had the small business community, because obviously temp agencies are businesses as well. So we wanted to make sure we had a comprehensive piece of legislation that was not going to have a negative impact on businesses.
If a temporary worker does have a problem, feels that they're not being treated fairly, I guess, how can they go about righting that situation? What can they do?
Well, one of the things they'll get, as Representative Forry indicated, is a notice, a one-page notice, and at the bottom of the notice is the name and telephone number of the Department of Labor Standards. That's 617-626-6970. So they will know where they can go for help if they have been treated unfairly.
And where do they? I mean, where are they going to learn about this? Is this something that's posted at work sites, or?
Two ways. One is they're supposed to get this piece of paper, and the second, in the law, it says that the rights under this law have to be posted in a conspicuous place at the workplace and translated if necessary.
And Al Vega, I'll let you have the last word very briefly. Do you think, I guess, what impact do you think this is going to have for these workers?
I think this is going to have a huge impact. I think we have, again, running this hotline, getting these calls, we now know that staffing agencies will no longer be able to escape the ability for us to track them and follow up with them if they're violating laws.
Okay, and we'll have to leave it right there. Al Vega, Representative Linda Dorcena Forry, and Monica Halas, thank you all for coming in, and congratulations for getting the legislation passed.
Thank you.
All right. Well, that's it for this edition of Urban Update. I'd like to thank my guests for coming in, and as always, thank you for watching. Until next week, I'm Byron Barnett for Urban Update. Have a great Sunday, everyone.